Hey community, Pedzi here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about annual compliance checklists. Let's go. Like I said, today I'm going to be talking to you about annual compliance checklists. Now, this is something that we as a company do for each of our body corporates when they come around to each of their year ends, their financial year ends, or nearing their annual general meetings, because every year we just like to check where things are at compliance-wise with a building. Obviously, when you're talking about communities and places where people live, eat, work, the primary responsibilities for the body corporate are to ensure the health and safety of the residents, occupiers, contractors that come on site, as well as ensure we are complying with requirements for the body corporate to maintain the common property in a good condition. We just like to go through a bit of a checklist just to make sure we're asking some key pertinent questions every year of the body corporate, the committee, or the on-site managers there. So I'll just run through them. Okay, so the first question we ask is if the body corporate has an asbestos report. The second question we ask is relating to what's called baseline data, which relates to fire maintenance. Okay, the third question we ask is related to emergency light testing. We ask about the testing of any smoke alarms in the common area. We ask if an annual fire evacuation has been completed. We ask about height safety. If you have a really tall building, usually each of these buildings have what's called anchor points on the roofs. Some buildings have CO2 sensors in the car park, so we just ask if there's been any, if the CO2 sensors have been tested. Pool safety certificates, that's pretty stock standard if you have a pool. A lift certificate, if your building has lifts, those lifts need to be registered with Workplace Health and Safety. Sinking fund forecasts, we recommend that the building has a sinking fund forecast reviewed every 3 to 5 years, depending on what's happened in the building. We ask if an insurance valuation is up to date. So under the legislation here in Queensland, a building needs to have an insurance valuation carried out every 5 years. Sometimes electricians do like a thermal scan of the switchboards just to make sure that there's no major load imbalances on that switchboard. So we ask if that's been carried out twice a year. Safety switches, 2 yearly services recommended just to make sure that the safety switches around the common area have been checked so that any contractors or the building manager working on site doesn't get any nasty electrical shocks or surprises. The last question we ask is about safety data sheets. So if the caretaker on site, for example, is keeping chemicals, pool cleaning equipment, for example, on site on the common area, we just want to make sure that he has these safety data sheets in his possession or in the area where the chemicals are stored, so that in the unfortunate circumstance where someone maybe gets poisoned or is affected by those chemicals, those safety data sheets are readily available so that they can understand what to do if that event ever occurs. That's it. That's a brief snapshot of our annual compliance checklist that we go through for each of our communities. I know it can feel exhausting, but look, just show your committees or the building manager this video and say, look, maybe I think we should start looking at annual compliance for our building, or just make sure that these things are in place. There are organizations that have just started that are looking into building maintenance, compliance. So if you are unsure, there are actually professional organizations that can assist you through this process, and we will talk more about them in our future videos. So that's it from me. All the best. You'll be hearing from George soon. Cheers. Bye.